What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, looking at a new card from the collector's pack in the OCG. I think a lot of these cards are going to be released in Dragons of Legends. Don't quote me on that. I could be mistaken. But anyways, this card was revealed a couple of days ago. Better late than never. It's called the Suppression Pluto. They're making a bunch of cards designed after the planets. These don't really have any association with like agents or whatever, so there's no real connection there. But this one is actually very legitimate. I think it might be the best planet card so far that has been revealed. It's a level 8. It's a Dark Fiend, 2600 attack, 2000 defense. It says once per turn you can declare one card name. Look at all the cards in your opponent's hand, and if there is that card with that name that you declared, apply one of the following effects. Effect number 1, you can gain control of one monster your opponent controls, or you can destroy one spell or trap your opponent controls, then set the destroyed target on your side of the field. Okay, so to me, this card is very good. I say that because, like, I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago, it just became so common to constantly know what your opponent has in their hand. I mean, there's just so much searching. Granted, a lot of times you want to have an effect like this be a quick effect because, you guys saw a couple of years ago, especially post-Duelist Alliance, that a card like Mind Crush was pretty much everywhere to counter Necroz, insert Tellarknights, and Burning Abyss when they, revealed a BA to try and special summon it. But even still, the game has become so search heavy, like so search centric, that decks like Monarchs, they search for Pantheism. Sometimes they may search a Tenacity, but they already activated one in one turn, so they can't, they kind of hold on to one in there for another turn or whatever. Or maybe they use Aether and then they add the Erebus jumps back into their hand. Decks like Cosmo, they search consistently and a lot. So I don't know. The effect of this card seems really easy to activate. I like the fact that this card doesn't have to, it's not a Nami, it doesn't have to be special summoned some, crazy way. Like, literally, you can just reasoning this out, you can get it in the graveyard, you can just, like, call the Haunted or Soul Charge. So, to get it on field is extremely easy. I think that this card has a lot of natural synergy with an archetype like Dark World. The fact that it is a Dark Fiend is extremely good for Dark World because Allure Darkness comes to mind. I know Dark World in the past has experimented with trade-in, which is another reason why this card is actually pretty good, is it's level 8, so you can trade it in. Not to mention, Dark World is an archetype that generally will look at its opponent's hand a lot because of cards like Mind Crush, which sometimes they main deck, but really drag down. Like, Dark World main decks drag down a lot, and it's quite common because, sometimes I throw it in my Dark World, but it's actually quite common for Dark World to run multiple copies of Call the Haunted, so that when you end up, discarding a Brow or maybe like a Snow for Dark World dealings, you can Call the Haunted it back, and then you can just bounce it for Grapha, and then you have, more fodder for your Gates or for a drag down or for another play like that. So the fact that this card does not target on this effect the gain control is good because it's an out to the Cosmo ships, which obviously are like meta defining cards and whatnot. So overall, I think this card is amazing. Like, if you get the effect, you should probably win the duel. You know what I mean? Unless your opponent has an absolute empty board, that's the only way I don't see you making any advantage out of this. And even still, you get to look at your opponent's hand for free. Like, the worst case scenario, even if you don't call the right card, you still know every single thing in your opponent's hand. Like, if you happen to get the effect off, okay, it's Snatch Still for one of your opponent's monsters, or you just MST a monster or MST a back row and then literally just get to set that card. Like, that is ridiculously good if you hit something like, a Blazing Mirror Force or a really good card like that. So I think this card is good. I even might say that it's worth building a deck around because it's dark and it's level 8. So Allure Darkness and Trade In obviously have natural synergy with tons of cards. So let me know what you guys think of this Suppression Pluto. Very good card in my opinion. Thank you guys for watching as always.